Good evening, and welcome to Marquette Now. I'm Grace Terry.
And I'm Jack Ryan. 36,000 people each year die from the flu, but that can be prevented.
If you haven't gotten your flu shot yet, now is a good time. Matt Martinez fills in the details.
This is Eckstein Hall, home to the Marquette Law School. While you can occasionally find a mock trial here, today there's a different kind of preparation going on. The Marquette Medical Clinic is providing flu shots for the Marquette community ahead of an impending flu season.
We do this more or less as a service to the Marquette community. We go to the law school, the business school, the dental school.
Students at the law school, because they're not undergraduates, can't receive free shots, but anybody with an undergraduate can actually receive free vaccinations from the flu clinic.
Students pay $25, but we do give them a receipt that they can mail into their insurance company.
Estimating how many people will actually show up, however, is not an exact science.
Today is one of those days a little busier than expected, so Linda actually just had to run back to the clinic to get more supplies.
The patients aren't the only ones getting preparation, however. The shots here are being administered by Marquette's own nursing students.
It's just flu shots, so it's a repetitive motion, which is awesome for mastering your skills.
You would never be able to do this without the partnership and the cooperation with the nursing school.
Staff at the medical clinic want the Marquette community to be as prepared as possible.
So we really try to encourage them that it's not just their health, it's their roommates' health.
For freshman Will Heitzman, all it took was a sign outside of the clinic.
I need to get my flu shot, and I figured I'd forget to do it if it wasn't today.
From Eckstein Hall, I'm Matt Martinez, Marquette Wire News.
The race for governor is neck and neck. The Marquette Law School released its poll this afternoon. It shows Governor Scott Walker leading Democratic candidate Tony Evers by 1 point. That's within the margin of error. In the Senate race, incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin has a 10-point lead on Republican opponent Leah Vukmir. The midterm election is just under a month away.
Students are upset over Marquette's alleged investment in Puerto Rican debt. About 30 people rallied to protest the university's involvement last Thursday. Tax documents showed Marquette made more than $100,000 from its investment in hedge fund group Baupost, which owns nearly $1 million in Puerto Rican debt bonds.
Have you had a rude awakening or had trouble studying due to the construction around campus?
These students have, and they spoke with Marquette Now's Chelsea Johanning.
6:30 p.m. on Marquette campus, and the noise has finally calmed down.
It's really loud, and I wake up to it like every morning because it's right below my window.
It really annoys me. It's been kind of hard for my roommate because she's sick, so like she can't really get a good night's sleep because it wakes her up in the morning.
Well, at the beginning of the year, we'd probably wake up at 6 a.m. every morning because of it.
But when they work on the outside with the tractors, it's a lot of beeping, waking us up.
It hasn't been fun for us.
It's usually like loud, sounds like just like huge bars like banging against each other.
All the noise is due to the construction next to Schrader Dorm. The construction starts in the morning and goes into the evening, Monday through Friday, with no end until early 2019.
It can get a little bit annoying, but I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, so it doesn't bother me too much, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like especially on like this side, obviously we're closer to it, and like we're lower, so, and it's like right there, so it's pretty noticeable and loud for us.
A $24 million athletic and human performance research center is what's being built right between 12th and 13th Street. While it's a nuisance to some, other students are excited.
No, it doesn't bother me because I'm excited for what's new.
In Milwaukee, I'm Chelsea Johanning for Marquette Wire News.
A lot of building projects are in the works right now. The university is making progress on the Athletic Performance Research Center at 12th and Wells Street. The new 44,000 square foot Physician Assistant Studies building at 17th and Clybourne Street is coming together. The city is also repaving on the west end of campus by Mashuda Hall and the Mark Apartments.
One project is creating a new outdoor space for students to use. It was unveiled last week during homecoming. Shane Hogan was on the scene.
The newest addition to the Marquette University campus will provide students and staff a space where they can innovate, create, and network. Just outside the 707 hub, Marquette's home for student innovation, lies the new Hankey Terrace. This space was made possible thanks to the Gordon Hankey Family Foundation. Meet Mary Hankey, a former member of the University Board of Trustees and namesake of the new terrace.
My husband's Allie. He was an entrepreneur and just an innovative guy, and he would love to be here today. This is over and above my expectations, so I look forward to seeing the space grow.
Mary and Gordon Hankey have a passion for helping students innovate, and the terrace is proof of their dedication to that passion. Kyla Mae Corby, a student intern at the 707 hub, feels that the terrace will benefit the entire student body.
That the sky's the limit, so now that we have this outdoor space, it really is the limit. It's just a great way to people get some fresh air and have inspiration from nature instead of just staying inside, because you really can't get creativity just in one place. So I'm glad the outdoor space was open today.
An outdoor space was the ideal way to commemorate her late husband, Gordon Hankey, and his passion for innovation.
Gordon was larger than life. He loved meeting new people and making a difference in his community through hard work and sharing his resources.
At Hankey Terrace, I'm Shane Hogan from Marquette Wire News.
The College of Business Administration's student-run business program is launching students into an early career. The program has helped 210 students create 7 businesses within the past year. The college says 2 of those businesses are already profitable. Altogether, these businesses have made between $2 and $6 million each. Well, Grace, this weather this week has been crazy.
It has been hot, it has been cold, it has been sunny, it has been rainy.
Well, let's throw it over to Caitlin Bross with the weather.
Thank you, Grace and Jack. If you take a walk outside right now, it's 66 degrees and pretty humid outside. And the winds are coming in from the southwest at 10 miles an hour. As we go into tonight, the temperature drops to 56 degrees and the humidity goes to 76%. Let's take a look over all of Wisconsin for the lows tonight. Up in Superior, it's 41 degrees, and in Wausau, 49, and in Madison, 50 degrees. However, the lows tonight are actually higher than the highs tomorrow. Up in Superior, it'll be 39 degrees tomorrow, and in Wausau, 39, and in Madison, 46. Tomorrow in Milwaukee, it'll be 47 degrees and partly cloudy, with a few sprinkles throughout the day. The humidity will be at 61%. Let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. On Friday, it'll be a high of 47 degrees and a low of 33, and partly cloudy. On Saturday, luckily, we'll get a little bit of sunshine, with a high of 52 and a low of 43. On Sunday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 49 and a low of 36. And on Monday, that same trend goes, with a high of 45 and a low of 35. And on Tuesday, there will be a high of 52 and a low of 38. Well, that's all I have for today. Please go outside and enjoy this nice October weather, and we'll see you after the break.
Welcome back. We all know Homecoming Week is always something that takes over campus every year.
Last week it did just that, but there's a twist this year. Homecoming and alumni reunion festivities merged into one big blowout.
Riley Tracy has the story.
All that this Milwaukee day needed were carnival games, beer, and Barb Cahill.
When I came here in 1966, and I graduated in 1970, and I studied in the College of Liberal Arts.
In West Town Square, located outside of the Alumni Memorial Union, Marquette's homecoming block party ran from noon to 5, consisting of a live DJ, balloon animals, and a beer garden sponsored by Miller Lite. The event drew in both current students and alumni families.
Andy and I were next door to each other, 203, 204, yeah. And the poor Jesuits below us. I think some of the parties we had, yeah, they didn't care for us.
Homecoming was an invitation for all to gather from both far and wide.
And I wish I lived closer. I live 35 miles away, but I wish I lived closer so I could be part of just this whole experience.
Marquette's rich traditions have stood the test of time. Just ask Barb.
Marquette was just one of the best things that ever happened to me. And it was just the friends that I made in 1966 are still my friends today.
Reporting from West Town Square, I'm Riley Tracy, Marquette Wire News.
For some students, homecoming gives them the opportunity to get their 15 minutes of fame. McCain Vogel has more.
The Irish dance team is warming up for a performance, but they aren't the only ones gearing up to go on stage.
We're here at the Varsity Theater checking out MU Spotlight, where Marquette students will showcase their talents.
But you don't need to be part of an organized club or have practiced for months and months. Some students chose to choreograph their own dance routine without the structure of the club, while some students simply came to enjoy the whole show.
Did you come to see anybody in particular, or just kind of to see the whole thing?
Everything, and my band's playing.
No, I don't have a boyfriend. I'm in nursing school. I'm working on my career, And then she goes, well, Miss Grace, why aren't you in school to be a doctor? And I go,
The Irish dance team is no stranger to MU Spotlight.
Our very first performance was MU Spotlight 2 years ago.
And although some groups face technical difficulties,
bear with us, please.
Everyone's a winner at MU Spotlight.
All right, we're back in business.
At the Varsity Theater, I'm McCain Vogel for Marquette Wire News.
Marquette's freshman class is setting a record. This year's class has 2,162 students, the largest in Marquette's history. Enrollment officials also report that the overall student population is the most diverse in history, with 25% being students of color. The news is not all bright, though. The first two second-year retention rate dropped 2 points to 87%.
For some, the idea of getting a foot cut off of hair might seem scary, but these people stepped up to the challenge. Rachel Bandy has the action.
Cut.
Karina Belmontes was inspired to do good for others after losing her grandmother to cancer. Once a Marquette student and urban scholar, Karina watched as someone close to her lost something that made her feel herself.
Together we came up with this idea of fortunate choices, and for me it's really cool because it's actually named after my grandmother. Her name was Fortunata.
For 3 years now, people have had the opportunity to donate their hair to help others who have lost theirs. Fabiola Magnina was there from the beginning, and this was only an idea from her fellow scholar. She has now donated her hair for 2 years.
Hair loss is something that's really close and dear to my heart because, especially as women, that's something that is part of our identity.
Urban Scholars helps put on this annual event for the Marquette community.
I really enjoy it because it's really a communal event. It's really an all Urban Scholar event.
Students donated anywhere from 8 inches of hair to a foot. Fortunate Choice's goal was to receive 75 donations. This year they received 47.
And the fact that it was started out of a need from an urban scholar, and the urban scholars at that time recognized that we should do something substantive and long-standing to honor not only that scholar, but her grandmother who died from cancer.
They are optimistic for the future and hope to continue to grow. Students and alumni such as Leslie Reyes and Fabiola Magnina said that they plan to come back next year for the event. And of course, snacks and good music were also included. At Coughlin Hall, I'm Rachel Bandy, Marquette Wire News.
Community service at Marquette is a huge deal, and Midnight Run is the organization behind many of those opportunities.
This week, they're celebrating their 13th anniversary. Lucy Sullivan tells us about it.
May be celebrating its 30th year serving the Milwaukee community.
Yeah.
But it's still young at heart. Meet Amir and his brother Jelani. Head chef Danielle Braze's grandsons. And the service organization's youngest volunteers.
Thank you.
That's what's celebration.
I'm here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
At Redeemer Lutheran Church, Braze has been directing the Noon Run volunteers for 3 years. Sometimes with help from her mini chefs and charming entertainers.
They always bring a smile to the guest's face, so it's always fun to have them around.
That simple dedication to making guests smile is what made Midnight Run a success from its very beginning 30 years ago. Founder Joe Kahan said,
One day we came down there and there was a line waiting for us. And that's kind of how it just got going.
With the help of many hands, big and small. Midnight Run could have another 30 years under its belt. And maybe Jelani or Amir will take over for Grandma one day. At Redeemer Lutheran Church, I'm Lucy Sullivan. Marquette Wire News.
Don't go yet. Zoe Comerford has sports updates after the break.
Plus, an all-new Down to the Wire with Clara Jansen.
Welcome back to Marquette Now. I'm Zoe Comerford with your Marquette sports updates. So Madness was on this past Friday, and there was a lot of action. So Chris Reisner actually has the story.
Madness. That's one way to describe it. Every year, fans gather around to the McGuire Center to get a sneak peek at their men and women's basketball teams.
Senior from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Number 10, Sam Hauser.
This year the format was a little bit different. It was a night full of rapping.
So this Marquette Madness, best time of the year. Marquette Madness, and the season is here. The team on the rise, and we coming for the top. Number one spot in the Big East, we don't stop.
Dunks. dancing, more dunks, an all-around celebration. Head coach Steve Wojciechowski told students that he wanted to make the night more about the fans. And by giving this fan a shot for a new Xbox, he did just that. The night ended with a performance from Grammy Award-winning artist B.O.B., and it's safe to say, it was madness. For Marquette Wire Sports, I'm Chris Reisner.
Women's volleyball team traveled to Chicago Saturday to face the DePaul Blue Demons. Marquette recorded their 4th consecutive Big East sweep. 2 Golden Eagles recorded double-digit kills. Redshirt senior Jenna Rosenthal led Marquette with 11 kills, and junior Allie Barber added 10. Junior Lawrence Beckman had a match high of 21 digs. The team just gained their 10th consecutive victory against the Butler Bulldogs in 3 sets. The Golden Eagles currently sit at 15-4 overall and 5-1 in Big East play. Bulls soccer teams lost 1-0 at Providence this weekend. The men played Saturday and then supported the women on Sunday afternoon. During the men's game, even though senior goalkeeper Luis Barraza had 10 total saves, Providence ended up outshooting Marquette 17-10. There were 4 Golden Eagle yellow cards during the match, and senior defenseman Stefan Bohm received a red card in the 89th minute. With this loss, men's soccer drops to an overall record of 3-7-1. Marquette is 1-2-1, falling 8th out of 10 Big East teams. As for the women's team, they also struggled finding the back of the net against the Friars.
I thought it was the tightly contested match that maybe we could have expected based on some past results that we've had against DePaul. You know, it's I think it's turned into a great rivalry against them, and you know, Erin has done a great job with her program and her team.
We just knew that they were going to come at us. We knew first 15, 25 minutes they were really going to come at us with a lot of pressure. So knew we had to kind of absorb some and then try and, as they got a little bit more tired, find the gaps, move the ball around, get some space, and go forward. Weren't able to find that too well, but I really liked our response in the second half to get the ball moving again and find the gaps and go forward.
I think maybe as you look at the entire 110 minutes, maybe a tie is just. I'm not sure if 0-0 is the score that you would have had after the chances that both teams in some ways had, but you know, I think for us it's a step forward because, you know, we've had 2 games in a row now with a shutout, and but at the end, you know, we still got to score goals to win games, and we're going to keep working on it. You know, I think we worked hard at it, but at least for tonight, it's a point.
Following this loss, Marquette sits at 3-9-2 overall. They are 1-3-1, dropping to 9th out of 10 Big East teams. That's all I have for sports. Stay tuned for Down to the Wire with Clara Jansen.
The Marquette University Police Department collected a whopping 46 pounds of prescription drugs last semester.
A prescription drug box in the MUPD lobby serves as a safe way to get rid of unneeded prescription drugs. Emma Tomsich is here to talk about it with Claire Jansen.
Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of Down to the Wire. I'm your host, Clara Jansen, and tonight we're joined by reporter Emma Tomsich. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you for having me.
So this week, Emma, you got the opportunity to write a story about the prescription drug drop box that was installed in the Marquette University Police Department's lobby. Can you tell me a little bit more about the timeline of that installation?
Yes, it was installed in spring 2018 in collaboration with the Marquette University Police Department, as well as local drug prevention agencies.
Okay, so has the drop box actually been successful, or has it just kind of been sitting there?
It actually has been. In the spring 2018 collection, over 46 pounds of drugs were turned over.
Wow, okay, that's a lot more than I was expecting to hear. So what do the police do with the drugs once they've been collected at the end of each semester?
They actually drive them up to northern Wisconsin in a city called Barron by a police escort where they're incinerated.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the answer I was expecting, but okay, so you went to the MUPD headquarters and you interviewed Lieutenant Joe Irwin.
Yes.
So when you went and you talked with him, did he actually get to show you the inside of the drop box?
Yeah, he was actually very helpful. He opened it and showed me, so I got to see all of the prescription drugs already turned over, and there were a lot. There's actually a picture on the Marquette Wire website.
Okay, wow, that's really interesting. I saw that actually.
Really?
It was a great story. It was really well written, so
Thank you.
Everyone should go check that out. Okay, so when you talked to Lieutenant Irwin, did he say that he was happy so far, or if he was hopeful for the future?
Yes, he said he was very pleased with the amount of drugs already turned in, and he hopes for more even turned in the future.
Okay, so that is about all the time we have left tonight, folks. We hope to see everyone next week on Down to the Wire. I'm Clara Jansen, Marquette Wire News.
Thank you for watching Marquette Now. For more campus news stories, visit marquettewire.org. I'm Grace Terry.
And I'm Jack Ryan. See you next week.